Hello, class. Mr. Stone here. The lesson I'm going to do today, I found online. It's actually addition and subtraction of square roots. Okay? I'm going to cover these over the next few lessons. I got one of my students here working on square roots, so I figured I'd do a few little lessons. That way I could send it to them. What I did above there, I put a list of some perfect squares. Okay? You should try to almost learn most of these, okay? Because you will see them in the future, like the square root of 225 is 15. Square root of 625 is 25, okay? At least familiarize yourself and say, hey, I know most of these, okay? You know, like the square root of 4 is 2, and 9 is 3, and 16 is 4. But I put it up there. You can kind of screenshot this and you can study it. And the more you know, the better off you'll be. The quicker you can do these things, okay? So let's go on to it, okay? So this is addition and subtraction of squares. So you got to pay attention that it's got the addition sign or subtraction sign, okay? You got to pay attention to the whatever sign it is so you don't make a mistake, okay? So we got the square root of 121. We look above there. Square root of 121 is 11. So we got 11. Let me make this a little bigger. So we got 11. And that's a plus sign. Plus. Square root of 36. Look above, it's 6. Okay? 6 equals 17. So the first answer is 17. Okay, next one. Square root of 64. Okay? That's 8, because 8 times 8 is 64, okay? So that's how they got this, okay? So we got the square root of 64 is 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. Now the square root of 36, well, 6 times 6 is 36, so this is going to be plus. Nope, it's a minus sign. That's why I told you we're going to pay close attention to the minus and the pluses, okay? So it's a minus, okay? Minus, okay, 6. 8 minus 6 equals 2. So I'm going to write a 2 in there. But you see how easy this can be? And truthfully, if you learn these different things, just like you learn the times table, you learn the square roots. Okay? It's just another table you kind of learn. A lot of students, they can use their calculators. And a lot of calculators today, they have a square root button. Okay? So that way, if you see a square root that you don't know, you can push it in. But what you should do is kind of familiarize yourself with how that square root button works. Just work on an easy one like 25. Okay, the square root of 25, you know, is 5. So just work on doing that. And once you get that down, then you can do other numbers. Okay, but familiarize yourself with how that works. Because if the teacher does let you use that in an exam, you can do it fast. But if you memorize these handful, you'll pull through pretty good. So the square root of 16, I know is 4, because 4 times 4 equals 16, and that's a plus sign, so it's plus. Now the square root of 625, well, I know it's 25, and you can see it right up here on the chart. Right up the top there, right there, so it's plus 25. Plus 25, so 4 plus 25 equals 29. So let's write a 29 in there. Okay, now the square root of 16 is 4. We just did it, so it's 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. Now this is minus the square root of 25. So that's 5 minus 5. Okay, so now 4 minus 5. Okay, how's that work? Well, as you know, you're going to be in the negative numbers, okay? That equals a negative 1. Negative 1, okay? I often taught, well, I learned when I was young, a thing called a T-chart. We just write it, because we only got 2 numbers to do here, right? So you got a negative team and a positive team, okay? And this is how you add negatives and positives, because you could draw a number line and do it like that. But this is relatively easy, and if you got a bunch of numbers to add, this works out great, okay? So what do we got on the negative side? We got a negative 5, so I'm going to write a 5 over this side. What do we got on the positive team? We got a 4, okay? What team's greater? Well, if I had multiple numbers, I'd just add them up, and then at the bottom, I'd say, what team is better? Well, I already know right now it's the negative team, Because I can see 5 is greater than 4. And how much greater are they? They're greater by 1. So my answer is -1. And that was how I solved that. Okay? This is called a T-chart. You can Google a T-chart. You can look it up. And you're going to find it works out great on these different negative and positive numbers. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so more students will see this, because it's very important that you subscribe, because that way YouTube sends it out to more students, okay? And maybe they'll see this on an exam someday, and they're going to say, hey, I could do this. Mr. Stone showed me how. This is relatively easy. And I did study the list of perfect squares, and I know how to do this, okay? And I got this right, okay? Thank you very much. Have a great day now. Bye-bye.